My apologies in advance. I might sound a bit sarcastic and cynical because this is a particular pet peeve of mine. We human beings allegedly have free will, but oftentimes, because of the way society is constructed, because of the way families tend to function, um, we are seldom able to explore deeply and or pursue our true passions. And then contrasted with that grim reality, when I come across somebody such as our guest today, who is not only a wonderful actor, but that is just one facet of her life, and she has numerous, it makes me incongruously happy. And I thought that it honestly and in all sincerity deserves a dialogue to sort of figure out whether she's been plain lucky, from where she finds the energy, the courage, the time, the resilience to dip into various facets of herself, and which is why this particular edition of Talk Therapy is simply titled Within Antara. Antara Kundu is somebody I chanced upon when I saw her wonderful recent short film, She Sells Seashells. In which she's done such a lovely portrayal of this girl who sells seashells. And I reached out to her. She was most generous, and she replied. I think she sort of resonated with what I had to say. And here we are. So, a big thank you, first and foremost, to Antara, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karthik, for those kind words.
Oh,
And
I mean it entirely because, you know, we are constantly, particularly in my role as a counselor or for that matter as an educator, I'm constantly having this tussle with parents, kind of trying to tell them that, it's okay, let him be, let her do, let this, let that. So
yeah,
it's always there.
yeah.
So anyway, let's begin by you telling our audience in your own words, first and foremost, what are some of your happy preoccupations these days?
Happy preoccupations would be, you know, again, acting is one of the things which I love doing. But besides acting these days, I have been writing a lot. And that is one of my happy preoccupations, I would say, because, it just liberates me. I'm happy, I write. I am sad, I write. It just helps me out with something which even I don't know. It is just some sort of energy which gives me ki just do it, just go for it. So yeah, so writing would be one of the things, and second would be shopping.
Retail therapy, let's call it that.
Yeah, retail therapy.
Okay. Now, I want to understand from you because you do have a kind of more regular day job, let's say.
Yeah.
Is that therefore primarily in service of kind of, to put it crudely, funding your real passions, or how do you see these various things that you do?
So I'd be very honest, when I was in college, I started doing theater. I just knew it. I have 3 years. I'll just do it full passionately. And after that, coming from a middle class family from Delhi, it was a very high or big ambition to just, suddenly become an actor. Just out of nowhere, you just become an actor because you have a family to support, you have your own careers. And um, I'd be wrong. I know there are a lot of actors who are, well settled, but there is that struggling part which is still
Sure,
there, right? That is
absolutely.
still there. But uh, I think I would be coward enough that I did not, fully got into that. But yes, that this job really helps me. I am independent. I help my family. I can do whatever I want. Like this acting thing was something because I was independent enough to do it. So yeah, it liberates me. The job liberates me a lot. And I
You
will
know,
always be thankful to that.
in my own view and my two bits here is that you're being unduly harsh on yourself. In fact, it's a very, very practical approach, and it's an approach
Mm.
that will kind of grant you the liberty of indulging in your passions a lot longer.
Yeah,
Because, you know, as
exactly.
somebody who was in Bombay for a decade trying to be a filmmaker and working as an assistant director, I came across, and one does, countless youngsters who had kind of put everything on the line and moved to Bombay to pursue those Tinseltown dreams. And then there came a point, of course, it varies in duration from person to person, where they just had to return. So
Hmm.
why put yourself in that situation, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I always feel that I don't know if it has been a good thing for me to have a plan B, but it just worked out for me. Because I, as a person, I like to work. I can't sit idle. I can't be just, struggling and struggling. I need that, what do you call, dopamine or energy to, just constantly work. So I think that was important for me, and I think I have been very lucky with Touchwood with the people I have worked with. They have been very kind enough to just grant me the leaves that okay, if you want to go for a shoot for 10
Yeah.
days, 15 days, go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this way has really worked out for me, to be very honest,
I
and
have a
very
couple
glad to
of
it.
follow-up questions, but before all of that, and I would love for you, because I'm such a fan of the film, so I'm taking the liberty of slightly corrupting my own show. Please tell us a little bit about Seashells. What did you enjoy about it? It's a very kind of, it's a slightly esoteric film, isn't it? But it's very poignant. It's very beautiful.
Mhm.
Little to no dialogue. Tell us your thoughts on the film.
So when I first read the script, it was completely different script when I first read it.
Okay.
But some way or the other, I resonated with the character. This might sound very filmy or whatever you call it, but I resonated with the character because it showed she was also going through a lot. So if anyone has seen the film, like she sells seashells, it's about a girl who is selling trinkets and all these bracelets on Goa beaches. But her life is completely different. There are like two facets of her life where she wants to enjoy. She's at the beach, but still she's so far away from all that. So and a lot of thoughts were going on simultaneously in her head. So I just felt that it was kind of similar with me
Hmm.
at that moment when I started, like this before the shoot started, before I got selected. There were a lot of things. There was job, life, and everything. A lot of things were going on. So when that opportunity came, it just gave me that pause. That oh, just look on yourself as well. So yeah, I think that film changed me a lot in the way how I look things now. Again,
That's
sound very filmy, but yeah.
No, but I mean that's absolutely wonderful, and it's a happy coincidence. Maybe it was
Mm,
preordained that
mm,
this film come to you. Uh, Tell me, this what seems like now this very, very kind of strategic, and I mean that in the best way possible, approach of retaining a job that gets you a certain amount of security and fixed income, and then balancing that with more artistic pursuits. Were these at all conversations at some point that you had at home with your parents?
Yeah, definitely. So my parents have been a very big supporter. So they have always, like when I finished my theater, so I had that thing in my mind that, okay, now my parents might not, ask me to continue this. But my parents have been so generous and they were like, no, please go for it. If you want to do it, if you want to go to Bombay, just go for it. That's why I said that coward thing earlier. Because my parents were fully into it. They had like full trust on me that if you would go, you would definitely do something good. So they have always been like, if you want. So after like college, after 6 months, when I started my job, my father was like, why are you doing this? If you don't
Hmm.
want to, you don't have to.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
completely fine.
Hmm.
If you want to become an actor, writer, director, please do that. So when I got this opportunity, they were like the happiest people. They were like, if your office people won't even They were very good. They gave me the leaves. They said if they are not giving you the leaves, leave the job. It's fine, but just do it. So my parents have been very supportive. They still are. They still want me to, always pursue my dreams. They still want me that if I want to become an actor, writer, director, please go for it. So I think that has been a very healthy thing with me.
Absolutely, and
Like
that
I
that is
never.
what that is what I was, kind of hoping to demonstrate through your life's example. Because again, we are very quick to point out scenarios where parents have been opposed to certain plans
Yeah.
that children have and students have, but when they do put their faith and trust and support behind that, it can be such a hugely propelling engine.
Very true. Very true.
Um, but there's a slight this thing here that I want to point out. Now, touchwood, you've been very lucky, and I think you acknowledge that yourself. Not every employer or job situation will be as supportive and understanding.
Yeah.
In fact, there may even be scenarios where if an employer were to know that this is basically this means to an end kind of thing, and his or her true interests lie elsewhere, that could cause
Hmm.
problems. Have you encountered a situation like that?
As of now, no, not yet. So like whenever I've done two things. Once that then back then I did not have a job, and this time the people were good. They allowed me the leaves. So no, I haven't. But to be very honest, I've never even thought about it
Hmm.
because I also try to uh, maintain that kind of a relationship with my colleagues, with my managers, with my bosses, that they trust me. Like if
Hmm.
I say that give me this much amount of time, I will be back and I will back with that same energy I have been,
Sure, sure.
I've been working. So I think people are nice. They understand. If you really want something and if you believe in it, I feel people around you also starts believing in it and
Hmm.
they, go for it. Maybe I might be wrong in some cases, but I have not been encountered with yet. So I have genuinely no answer to it. But yeah, I feel that you just have to be true. Even at workspaces, just be true.
And obviously, along with what you're saying, which is very very logical and understandable, at the end of the day, an employer is most concerned with the deliverables from that employee, right? So as
Yeah,
long as you're
yeah,
fulfilling that, how should it matter?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's shift a little bit now and come towards, and I know you spoke about it briefly, but I would love to know a little more in detail. When we spoke offline, you talked at length about sort of, really discovering in a sense, and becoming or falling in love rather with acting and the stage. And you did a tremendous amount in terms of quantity also during those years of graduation. Apart from the obvious kind of creative satisfaction, a conduit to express yourself, etc., what did that entire experience, acting, being on stage, do to your headspace?
So I'll give you like two scenarios to it. Again, Antra in college who was just passionately doing theater and nothing else, nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. 12
Mm-hmm.
hours a day, 15 hours a day, she's
Mm.
practicing. And she was physically she might be tired, but mentally she was happy.
Mm.
Anything happened. Maybe it was something personal or anything like that. Whenever she was on stage, she was again that happy that okay, I can sort everything out. Everything
Mm.
can be done. If
Mm.
I write something, people when appreciate it, it just gives me a satisfaction. Okay, there is hope. There is something which can be, cured. There's nothing which can't be cured, which made me and my mental space very happy.
Mm.
Cut to the point when I started working.
Mm.
When you start working, because there was a job when I was in proper corporate, not the
Mm.
previous one. I
Mm.
recently left one.
Mm.
But the first job which I worked, it was a proper corporate space, like an MNC corporate space. There you don't get the time.
Mm.
You,
Mm.
you have to work from 9 to 9. You
Correct.
don't get the time from
Mm.
Monday to Saturday. So on Sunday, you are just pondering, like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
But you don't have the time to do anything. So at those 2 years, it was just like, what am I doing to myself? And also this thought also, when I left the job, I started thinking because I was not giving time to myself.
Mm,
And when you're not giving the time to yourself, you're not able to write, you're not able to do anything. So I think art in itself is very important. It just helps you to calm down, I feel.
mm, mm,
I don't know how to, because I'm very new to all this. I genuinely don't know how, but it is just very important, and I would say everybody should do it. Like when me and my friend we were in theater, we used to tell everybody कि theater सबको करना चाहिए. It teaches you discipline. It just teaches you everything you want to be. So yeah, and cut to when I got that, acting role, and when I went to Goa, Goa in itself is such a nice,
mm,
wonderful
mm,
place. It
mm.
just gives you your time. It just gives you to grow and everything. So I think that helps a lot. And yeah, mentally it just, gives you that energy and space. Just calm down, take your time, give it some time. So yeah, that
So if I was to kind of just reword in a sense what I'm gathering from you is that it is almost the best kind of, let's say, coping mechanism for the drudgeries of life.
yeah, yeah.
Right,
I
because I
think
mean, we all of us encounter certain unpleasant and unsavory situations, circumstances, um, and where does one find the strength, the mental strength, the resilience, the courage, the tenacity to navigate those situations? And if you have a outlet, an artistic outlet,
yeah,
I think you'd be much more equipped to deal with
yeah,
situations.
definitely, definitely.
And so when you did have that first full out corporate job, what was it that you began to realize? Did you find yourself feeling frustrated? Did you find yourself feeling psychologically exhausted?
Yeah, I was very stressed. Like the word would be stressed out. And there have been many people in that particular company who have been stressed out because it was a sales job. Sales in itself is very,
Right. You have
tough and
unreasonable
everything.
targets and yeah.
Everything, yeah. And the thing, like you achieve a target, and then on the month end, you're again starting from zero, and that thing is just continuously happening,
Right.
happening. And I was in an industry, in a travel
Hmm.
industry, which is very dynamic.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
have to be available all the time. It's not
Hmm.
just 9 to 9 you're
Hmm.
working.
Hmm.
Even at
Hmm.
12 at night, you have to be available for the person. So it just started becoming too much after a point where I was like, I can't take this anymore. Where I just wanted to, throw away my phone and just sit in silence. So I think, yeah, that was one thing which, made me realize, no, this is not something I want to do. Like always, no, I don't want to do that. Then I shifted to the other company. It was a bit more creative work, which I started doing. So obviously it helped me. Then
Hmm.
obviously the thing, like I got the job and everything. And now again, I'm shifting into advertising, which is again more of a
Right. The
creative
culture is very
thing.
different and all of that.
Yeah. And also I realized that I can't do like proper desk jobs. I need something creative to do.
Hmm.
Then only I think I will be having a sane mind. Otherwise, it
Right.
would just
Yeah, and
be very
that
stressful.
is a process of self discovery and evolution and
Yeah,
exploration that would,
yeah.
ideally is a lifelong thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
I think that it is very important to go through all those processes because now I have actually found out
Hmm.
it's not a job. I just want to do a job because I'm not an actor, so I'll just do a
Correct.
job. No,
Correct.
I want to do a job in which I am good at.
Yeah.
I am having fun, and also ठीक है वहाँ पे creativity नहीं तो maybe यहाँ पे सही.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so like that. So then
Absolutely.
so yeah, all these processes have just filtered it out. Okay, you are not able to do that because this is your problem. You're not able to do that. Okay, now just go and try with it. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
No, no, absolutely. I
yeah,
mean, I think that experience very critically tells us what is not working along with what is
yeah,
working. So, yeah, I
definitely.
take that point. Is it fair to say that as far as writing goes, it's a
Hmm.
similar kind of set of benefits that it brings to you as acting?
Yeah, 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 it does. It
The
does.
reason I ask this, I have a very specific question in mind, which is that it's studied and, one observes it amongst people of your generation. I don't want to generalize, but
Hmm.
there is a much greater impatience and
Yeah.
a larger focus on, and I mean it metaphorically, on any destination, right? So when it comes to something like writing, um, how much of that entire pursuit is excitement on account of the finished product of your writing versus the process of writing?
Uh, so why I like writing, if I start with that. So when I used to like writing, like since school only, but nobody acknowledged that in school. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought maybe I'm not good at it. So
Mm-hmm.
first initial few years when I was, like in eighth standard, ninth standard, I always thought I'm not good at it. Because sometimes teachers, select those kids who get the prizes. So I thought maybe I'm not good at it. Okay, fine. No, no worries with that. But then when I went to college, again those seniors, that theater helped me that no, you're good at it.
Mm.
People started appreciating.
Mm.
So when people started appreciating, I just realized that no, I'm not bad at it. Maybe, I need to write a bit differently, or
Mm. Mm.
maybe the stage was different back then. Maybe
Sure.
it needs something else. So because I stopped writing, and then when I again started writing, the journey was like, it's not that the final product, what was the final product, and people will just start appreciating. No, it was basically, I'm a very introvert kind of a person. I don't
Mm-hmm.
speak to
Mm-hmm.
people very easily. So
Mm-hmm.
it just becomes very easy for me to write. I just
Mm.
start write. I write. And when I read it, I'm like, oh, it's nice. Sometimes I don't even post. Oh, I like it. And after a few months, when I start reading, I like, oh, I was in that position in my mind, and I was, going through this and that. So it's very simple for me like this.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
simple work. Some of the most, uh, poignant and spiritual advice in the world is the simplest.
yeah.
I
So
think we
so
needlessly over intellectualize and complicate things sometimes.
yeah, I mean, it's very simple for me. I just like writing, nothing else. Sometimes I like to post it on Instagram. Sometimes it's just in my notes for myself to, cure. And that time of life I was there. So yeah.
That's wonderful. I must say before I forget that you have currently the cutest display picture I've seen on your WhatsApp in a long time. Is that your
Thank you.
dog or just somebody on the
Yeah,
street?
yeah, yeah. No, no, she is my dog. So she was on the streets. We adopted her. So my mother, like, she, feeds all the dogs in the colony. I have also been doing, I don't get the time these days. So my mother is someone who is doing that. So we found this little puppy whose mother died because of brain hemorrhage. So we thought, let's just get her home. And that's the best thing. Like, after theater, actually before theater, I'll say everybody should adopt a pet because it just gives you the empathy. It just gives you, to actually respect everybody. Even it's a small spider or a lizard, might sound very weird, but it's very important to, respect and have that empathy. Besides respect, have the empathy. So I think the pets teaches you that. It's very
I couldn't
important.
agree with you more. I mean, this is like something that's deeply resonating with me
Yeah.
as an animal lover myself, which is why I
Yeah.
noticed the picture and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this girl is doing something right. Okay, well, wonderful. It's been lovely chatting. Thank you. You've been very kind of, honest, upfront, unguarded. I wish you all the very best in whatever
Thank
it
you
is
so
that you
much.
pursue throughout life. Remain deeply connected with your art, which I suspect strongly you will.
Fingers
And all the
crossed.
very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was very fun having a chat with you.